Welcome to Keith and the Girl. I'm Keith Malley.
I'm Chemda.
Don't forget, OMAT Club. Congrats, Chemda. Celebrating its 3-year anniversary. OMAT, 1 minute at a time. Chemda read all those self-help books and saw all the videos so you don't have to. Join for $3 for the week. How about that? Little promotion. Money back guarantee. You will get something out of it the very first day, which is only 15 minutes long each day. The very first day, if you don't get something out of it, money back guarantee. How about that? Use code BIG3 at keithandthegirl.com/OMAT, O-M-A-T. keithandthegirl.com/OMAT. You'll see exactly what we're talking about. Use BIG3 at checkout. All right. Joining us today, well, we, of course, give out a little form for the guests to fill out. What are you promoting? She's promoting your mom. Carmen Lagala. Hello, Carmen.
Hello.
I believe last time it was this ass, and it seems you're in a relationship now. Okay. Good for you.
I never remember what I put on that form because it was a while ago, and I'm like, oh no, what mood was I in?
What credits should we mention? Colbert, but it's 5 years old. Working on not self-sabotaging, so maybe I'll have something else soon. All right. Okay.
I'm in a comedy festival. I have to promote that, actually.
Okay, good. What's that?
The Vail Comedy Festival in Vail, Colorado, which is outside Denver. That's coming up at the end of May.
All right.
So fun. Oh, Colorado, you're so lucky.
I love Colorado.
Other info we should or could know for the show about you? She says, I'm selling my printer. No idea if it works.
Yeah.
So any
I
offer.
just haven't used it. If anyone wants it.
Right. What are you thinking of asking for it?
I thought I would give it away, and if it doesn't work, they bring it back.
They bring it back. They don't just throw it out. They bring it back.
Oh yeah.
Carmen, are you just trying to make friends on Craigslist? What's happening? Do you think Facebook Marketplace is something different than what it is?
I should use Facebook Marketplace. That seems safer. Craigslist has led me to some dark people.
All right. You know what? Well, first of all, let me say this. Carmen was nice enough to open for my stand-up show that we just did. And Carmen, you're fantastic. Thank you very much.
Oh, you are. That was such a great bash.
That's what I was trying to get to. What was your favorite part about me? Do you comedians
when you took off your shirt and you just kept just dancing to Pony by Genuine for 15 minutes of the set.
Yes.
But in different parts.
It's one of those things, it keeps building and building. And you're like, well, is this going to end? I know that comedians, none that have opened for me because they do respect it, but the other comedians, they like to see me fail because they only do stand up once a year. Were you in that mindset a little bit?
No, I actually didn't know that you only do it once a year. And I was really impressed. And a little angry, I guess, afterwards to be like, okay, he didn't even say once. I do this several times a night. And you just have this perfect stage presence right out of the gate. Okay. Wow. Oh, well.
I find it, I don't know if the word's strange or what. And you don't need a million albums like I'm doing. But why don't you have a comedy album yet?
Ooh, self-sabotage. We go back to that, huh?
Because it won't be good enough, or because your stand-up's great. You definitely have 45 minutes. You definitely have an hour.
Mm-hmm. I need to make one. I'm planning on it.
Okay.
I think. I'm trying to pick a venue. Just a lot of choices. I don't know. Just there's so much stuff. Who do you pick for the label? Do I put it out myself? Will the recording go wrong? How many video things do I do? Where do I release it? How do I release it? I can't even caption a video. I've spent 7 hours trying to caption a video to post, and I cannot do it.
Before the show started, neither here nor there, Carmen was saying she just texted an ex that she hasn't talked to since 2023 for the record, and said, hey, you have that old banana bread recipe? I can use it.
But she also, I think, I can't tell if you were joking or not. She's like, oh, congrats on being married and the whole family thing. That banana bread recipe. Can I interrupt just really quick?
But I don't know who you're allowed to reach out to and who you're not to. I had a Super Bowl party and I invited somebody that I went on dates with on OkCupid. So this is like maybe 5 years ago. And I said, hey, if it's not weird, I mean, you're in a relationship. This woman's married, actually. So I didn't think it was so strange to say, hey, if it's not weird, you want to come to a Super Bowl party. But by there being no reaction whatsoever, I know that was a mistake. Was that stupid of me?
I think it's fine.
Right. You're asking how's your banana bread. I broke your heart.
Well, how did you end that? I mean, it
was a breakup. We're not going to date anymore.
But did you actually have to break up, or did you go on one date and like punch each other in the arm and walk away? You know,
it was.
No, we dated for several years. Right. We dated for like 3 years. Yeah.
Okay, so 3 years you're allowed to banana bread. Keith, how long?
We were dating. Like it was understood I was seeing other people.
Okay.
So you still had to end it, and it's not comfortable, but it's not a divorce.
Yeah. You text out of nowhere for that.
Out of nowhere? The Super Bowl. It's on the news.
I would have thought you were trying to like get back in.
Yeah. Because there's been like 5 Super Bowls since.
Right. Should I say like my girlfriend will be over? So you got to throw that in somehow.
Well, Carmen said like, congratulations on the marriage and all that. Did you do that?
Yeah.
No, I didn't. Yeah, I guess I do have to acknowledge it, right?
Yeah.
Love that your marriage is going great. Hey, I'm having a Super Bowl party.
Well, not just that. You were like, hey, is this weird? You want to come over? Instead of like, hey, I know you're with someone. I'm maybe with someone, and then just go like, I'm having a bunch of people over, so please, I would love to meet who you married or something like that. That's too long a text. I would delete most of that just for the record. Just for the record, okay? I did not hit send yet.
And then, do you do this, Carmen? Like sometimes you don't know if a guy's hitting on you. They say, hey, how's it going? And do you go, it's going good, pal? Sometimes I get that, and I'm like, I didn't say nothing. I just said it's a Super Bowl party.
Yeah, I'll like try to friend zone them in little subtle ways, but I guess that's not very subtle, is it? If we're like, yeah, champ, bro, I have a toe fungus. I will throw in something disgusting so that they know that I'm not interested.
I see.
I'm like, yeah, I'm doing all right. I just have this weird vaginal funk. You know, you play with it, whatever you feel.
How's it going now with this guy you're dating? By the way, for being a fun person that you call yourself pansexual, how fucking boring to be dating a guy.
I know.
Right?
Oh, he's the most like Mario. He has a joke about it, so I'm just stealing his joke. But I could play with any character, and I'm like, Mario, let's go. Yeah. But he's great. He's so sweet. We get along great. He's so nice.
You mentioned it's been what, since January or so, or before that?
Yeah, officially in mid-January.
Okay.
Yeah, we were sleeping together before that, obviously. I'm fun.
You guys have shared the word love before already?
Oh,
I mean, have you?
Have. Uh-oh.
What?
Yeah.
Does it scare you to think about?
Oh yeah, I'm a very Ooh. Yeah.
What's scary? That God forbid it doesn't work out?
Yeah. Love in general. Relationships are hard. They just take all this work, and then you're in love. Do you move in together? Do you not? What's happening? Well, yeah. Do they like that person more than me? Are they gonna? Nobody ever. Marriage is bad. Everything's bad.
Right. How's anxiety going in general?
Really bad. But I just ordered some therapy books online. You ever heard of these things? Some therapy notebooks. So those will cure me and I'll be fine soon.
Ooh, what kind?
Oh, like workbooks where you have to I got one for get more self-esteem, you stupid woman is like one of them. It's not called that, but basically. And then there's an anxiety notebook, a depression notebook.
Nice.
I can't get a therapist. I have Medicate. No one will take me on. So I thought I'd buy some books.
Do you work on the workbooks, or is it just like collecting them?
They're not here yet.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
They're coming. All right.
It
sounds overwhelming though.
I'm not fancy. Yeah.
It sounds overwhelming though, like 10 notebooks at once, you know?
I like to feed my anxiety.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh no, I don't know the answers to all this. This is getting worse.
Yeah.
What if somebody's dating you? Don't misunderstand me, pal. But if somebody's dating you,
A nightmare, yes.
what should they know about your anxiety? Do they need to,
Ooh.
do they figure things out? Do you say ahead of time, hey, I'm working on this, but just so you know,
I have to. Yeah, I mean, I have an anxious attachment style, which is no excuse for, just some of the behavior. I get jealous. That's like a newer thing for me, which I hadn't really had before, or maybe I did, and it was just
maybe you didn't care before.
waiting. Yeah, I don't know.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm sort of working through that.
Stand-up's like therapy, right? You're fine.
Yeah, I'll be fine. The audience is my LSCW, whatever the licensed they're, I don't know what they are.
Do you self-medicate?
Oh, I was like, no, I've been microdosing mushrooms for a couple weeks now.
And you were going to say no? Wait,
I'm like, of course not. I take acid every hour on the hour. No, yeah, just like the tiniest amount that you're supposed to just take a tiny bit, like every other day. So just for.
Do you consciously feel it?
Nope.
How do you think it's helping?
Nope.
How did you decide the dose?
How did I decide the dose? Oh, I just had my boyfriend just told me what to take. And then I like read an article later and it was like, I don't know, the articles are, since it's still illegal or whatever.
Yeah.
Now,
yeah, they can't really advise you.
Right. Chemda went to one of those smoke and paint places, smoke marijuana. They called it Medicate and Paint.
Yeah. Ooh. I found this thing on Eventbrite and, 420 just passed and doing things on 420 is a little overwhelming. Just like for me on every holiday, on that holiday, I like to stay away from everybody's way. You guys are partying. It's very specific. And I feel like I'm just in the way, but I wanted to do something special. And, I've always been jealous of drink and draw. It's been everywhere forever. And I never drink. And it never makes sense for me to pay that ticket and then not drink any booze and sip on one drink like wine or whatever. And so now that weed is more and more legal and more available, they have these little things. And I'm like, yes, I get to medicate and whatever they want to call it so that it rhymes or is it alliteration. I bought the tickets. I got the special thing where you get like the easel and the paints and you get like a special edible or weed thing when you come in. And I'm like, this is it. This is it. Liberated. So we ride our bikes like at least an hour into Brooklyn. We get to the place and it's an apartment building. Strike one. Okay. And I'm thinking like, let me not be square, right? But at the same time, I'm like, already I know we're too old for this. Okay. Right. And I'm starting to second guess my my decision making here. And there's no apartment number. Strike two. There's a building of maybe 4 or 5 floors, so we could take a chance. But, everybody hates that. And you don't want to ruin their relationships with their neighbor, especially if they're doing something like medicate and paint. You don't see any balconies, so everybody's indoors, which means you are smoking out your building. So we're trying to be cool. And then, as people walk outside the building, we're looking at them like, are you coming out of a party? Like, how do we assess without going like, where's the party? The illegal, clearly out, like you can get kicked out for this party. So trying to be cool, we subtly, we decide to just smoke, walk around the block and wait for an answer from an email, right? That I sent. We come back and there's this couple also looking for a place right in front of the building. So we're like, are you here for the, we're doing things like wink, wink, winkety do, like whatever. But they're like, yeah. I said, do you have an apartment number? They don't. Somebody comes out of the building. The dude in this relationship goes, is this where the party is? Are you did you just come from the party? And I'm like, where were you raised that you can just ask these questions so fucking openly? If you like, where's the speakeasy? Excuse me. So, but the guy was so distraught. He's like, I don't know, 4th, 5th floor. I'm managing a lot right now. I'm like, but you already said so many words. Just say the one word. Just say one of them. So it's on the 4th or 5th floor. Now, you would think we as a couple are now friends with this other couple who just went through the same thing. Where are we? What's the apartment? Oh, we kind of have an answer. They were like ignoring us, rushing through the door. And I'm like, all right, bros, see you later. I'm like, this is an apartment building, which means we might be about to sit next to each other or across from each other like buddies. You want to make friends upset, like that awkward thing of like, okay, I'm going to go to a party now. I'm like, I'm going to the same place. Act regular. So we go upstairs and they still don't know where it is. So we're basically putting ears to the doors. And there seems to be a lot of noise coming from this one door. So both the couples are right out there. And we put our ear a little closer to the door. It just swings open. So we're like, are we supposed to be here?
Is this the weed place?
Yeah. And it was, and it smelled like it, and it was all there. And but they still didn't have a door person or welcome you. You just kind of walked in and you're like, I guess I talked to you because you're closest to the door now, right? It was an apartment smaller than mine. I have a studio apartment. And they squished tables together. They had easels for children aged 2, okay, with canvas and paint that you should probably use your fingers with. And the guy checked us in. I had, we're adults. I printed out my thing. Who has a printer other than like 40-something-year-olds? Printed out my thing, had a QR code, the whole 9. And the guy takes it. And then just like mumbles, maybe he's talking to himself. I don't know. It's like a table with like some Hennessy and other bottles on it because there's still like 10 minutes more of happy hour at their house. Anyway, he didn't tell us what to do. We're just standing there like dorks. And finally, somebody else was like, blah, 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 blah. So like a child, I just wave my ticket at her. I'm like, I have a printout. And she's like, yeah, we're setting you up. We ran out of easels though. Anyway, she just keeps going. What the fuck am I paying for? She starts putting a shitty little canvas on the table. And I look at Xerxes and we're both like, all right, I think we're done here. And we leave. So
how do you do that? Do you act like you're looking around? You just sneak out?
No, we just leave. We don't even do any skits, no bits, no nothing. No, like, oh, did we leave our helmets on the bike? Or I think my gloves are in the glove compartment. Isn't that weird? No, none of that. We just left because we were adults. These were all children and I don't want to be here. And I was like, maybe I'm not going to even ask for a refund because maybe I appreciate the hustle. I don't fucking know. Right. But the more I think about it, the more annoyed I am, of course. And I attempt an Eventbrite refund. And I say what's the reason? I put reasons and then I go to a different browser because I needed information. I come back. None of the reasons are there. So I'm like, okay, I'm done. So I go, this was very unprofessional and we didn't get what was promised. So I simplified it, hit send. Here's the response that I got.
How much was it, by the way?
I'm trying to remember, but like, wasn't that much for a paint and draw? I want to say $25 each. And we were early bird. That's not that much for a paint. It could have been a little bit more than that. You bring
your own drugs, right?
Well, we were supposed to get either an edible or like a starter or something like it said you get some kind of weed at the door and an easel. Gotcha. So I wrote, we didn't get what we wanted, what was promised. And it was very disorganized. I think you would both agree, not having the apartment, having me look for some weird speak. Okay. Hello, I'm very sorry it did not work out for you. Refunds are only provided before the event. I'm not sure how we didn't provide what was said if you stayed for 20 seconds. You came when I was at the end of seating people. I'm not sure that was disorganized. I still appreciate your patronage.
Oh, it's appreciated.
No, I'd come back at that as hard as I could and be like, I will kill your family. I know where you live. Yeah. I know where you live.
I'll stop one dose that I don't feel anyway of mushrooms and it's on.
Yeah. Mushrooms making me more aggressive.
By the way, this is funny to me
that
Ken is one of those people that like things should be legal and then you know what you're getting and I'll test drugs. Now you're going into people's apartments. I'm like, I think I get an edible.
Yeah, but yeah, and I get what you're saying, but none of that happened. And I don't know that we would have just popped that edible into our face.
You would have tested it in front of them?
No, we might not have taken it, depending. It could have been a wrapped thing from a place. There's like a lot going on. I don't know that we don't usually take other people's rolled things unless we know them or, you don't just smoke people's weed. I thought we were going to a place.
Right.
Because places have that. So yeah, now we're just, and as soon as it is this shady, I'm out of here. I'm not,
of course,
coming with my own weed to hang out with people who are cold and distant and are behaving like children.
Right. Have you tried weed for your anxiety?
That'll make it
Carmen?
worse.
Oh God. I mean, it makes it much worse.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah. If you don't like the thoughts in your head, weed is like, hey, you want some thoughts? And I'm like, I'll eat some thoughts. And Carmen's like, no, I already have thoughts.
Yeah, we don't need our thoughts. Yeah.
I need prayers.
Give the thoughts paranoia.
Does exercise help anxiety?
Yes, definitely.
I wonder, I'm working on a theory that it makes it worse.
Ooh,
that exercise is bad for you.
Yeah, it is making my anxiety stronger probably because I am physically stronger. You know what I mean? When you're like, let's tire the kids out. It's like, are you tiring them out or are you making them stronger so that next time they can last even longer and torture you for more time? Don't have kids.
Wow, I really didn't know that exercise could sound so terrible. That is a new level. Carmen, congrats. Wow, you really do have anxiety.
I can make anything sound bad.
Yeah, it's quite the gift.
Well, Kyle's been exercising her whole life. Now, if she doesn't yoga or exercise, she feels bad. Not me. I never had that problem.
Yeah.
She's like, I'm stressed out. I got to do yoga. I got to run again. I'm like, I guess it's too late and you have this problem and I have to put up with it. But you have to stretch. I don't have to. Oh, well. What's the longest you ran? I know you ran in college. What's the furthest? Do you ever do marathons?
No, I trained for a half marathon and then I got pneumonia and came really close to dying. So.
Oh, all right. Well, we're glad
you really can turn everything into a bad thing.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Give me something else. I'll make it bad.
I was reading about a marathon runner who admits to pooping her pants when she ran a marathon and she achieved her best running time. Well, I would guess so. You're running away from the poop, but it's always on you. These runners are fucking disgusting, by the way. Shitting themselves, bloody nipples.
Weird distance. Not interested. Too far.
It's a lot. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The avid runner Tamara Torlikson, 31 years old, was running 26 miles. She said nothing unusual was going on with my body to give an indication that I would soil myself. Training was going really well. I knew I was in really good shape, but about at the 13th mile, so halfway through. Holy Jesus.
Can I'd like to ask a question.
Yeah, what's the award at the end? I mean, who gives a... Well, she did.
When your body shits itself, is it saying keep doing what you're doing? Or is it saying...
No doctor.
Yeah, I don't, I feel like it's an indication of maybe sit down for a minute or sit down long enough to finish what we started, which is pooping.
She said, I don't know if it's possible to poop while running, but I will try. I didn't want one poop to mess it all up. Well, it's the poop that messes it up, isn't it?
So she wanted this. It wasn't involuntary. She was like, let's give it a go.
See, I don't understand because she says like there were no indications that her body would cause her to soil herself, but halfway through she did have to poop. And so she said, I'm just going to keep running and doing it.
She better have had her best time.
3 hours, 7 minutes.
Oh, that's amazing. That's wow.
Really
okay. I'd shit myself.
And you're dropping weight during,
Right.
So for 1.5 hours, there's shit all over you.
Yeah, you're a princess. That's good.
It's kind of like having kids. Back to my original point.
Now I see where all this anxiety comes from. Like, hey, I want to tell you that I love you. But our kids, and if we tire them out, they'll get stronger. What? I'm just saying, it's been together for a couple months now. When the bowel movement arrived, the woman said she didn't give a shit if other runners saw what happened. Marathoners don't judge.
They do.
Let's see. She shouted, I pooped my pants to her family and friends when she crossed the finish line.
I would shit my pants for a 3-hour, 7-minute marathon.
Yeah. If I could do that kind of time, I'd shit myself. Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah.
Somebody tells me I have to run for 3 hours, I shit myself.
That's true. The running
crazy.
part I don't want to do.
And then she said she went to the medical tent to get cleaned up. Do they have a hose?
They should. I mean, this sounds very regular. You know, I've said this before on these runs, these long 26-mile runs, these runners, and I love their gear. They shed their gear because they don't want to carry it anymore. They got too hot and they can't give a fuck because they're in the middle of this crazy feat. And so you can go along some race and pick up this really good running gear. Wow. But some of it might have shit and piss and blood on it. So just, wear gloves.
Better. Yeah.
Oh, my Lord.
Like it's signed by the athlete themselves. Hoka's filled with cum. Great. Wow.
You got to frame it right away so it doesn't stink up the house. But you're like, look what I got. I was reading a story about a man in Minnesota, and he spent $170,000 on 2 leg lengthening surgeries to make himself taller.
Oh boy.
That's not something but it's weird that he announces it. You think that's like something you wait till like, you're really into some, it's weird. It's weird. Like if you had fake body parts, I don't know, you wait until I'm into you and then be like, oh, well, I wish you weren't so insecure, but I like you already. But to say ahead of time, you got your legs lengthened. I don't know. That's weird.
I feel like at this point, what the fuck is the difference? It's only that now this is available that we're like, what, this? But people have been putting stuff inside of every part of their body, their calves, their butts, their tits. They've been removing ribs. We pluck our hair and rip it out. We fucking burn it off from the root. Like this is bananas.
Leg lengthening might be the most normal thing I've heard in this long list of things, actually.
Because that's actually helpful.
Yeah.
Moses Gibson, 41, says he long struggled to get a girlfriend because he was only 5'5".
Short king.
What's that?
This must have been pre-short king summer.
Yes, yeah. He turned to medication. I don't know what medication does it. And he saw a spiritual healer. But that didn't take.
What?
Yeah, I used to put things in my shoes to gain a little bit of height, but it wasn't very much. They sell shoes, though, that are tall. You don't have to put things from your house in a shoe. It's like,
you put little lifts in there.
Yeah, put something.
You know what, though? 5'5" is not that short. It's my height, which I understand for a dude is just a little below average. But I feel like whenever this happens, it's like, wait, you're not that short. I feel like, is it because you're only attracted to women who are 5'10" and higher? Like, is this necessary for you from your side? Because as a female who dates males, like 5'5" is not going to be not for most people, I think in general, that's not going to be what goes like, you know what? Not really.
A desperate Gibson began taking pills he procured over the internet that promised to make him taller. They, of course, didn't work.
No.
But they were on the internet? That's
right.
Wow.
On the internet, though? Or
the very same one we're using.
Wow.
The self-described go-getter saved $75,000 for the surgery over the course of 3 years. He was a software engineer by day and Uber driver by night.
Wow.
But he had trouble reaching the pedals, He did a procedure that added 3 inches to his height, taking him to 5'8".
Okay.
After the first procedure, I was happy.
Look, Carmen and I are like, okay, and same dude. All right.
Yeah.
Cool for you.
After the first procedure, shallow about height, not going to make a difference, bud.
But I would feel the same way about and then she went from an A cup to a C cup. I'm like, oh, good for her. Yeah. I don't care. A cup sounds good to me. I'm good. Right. But, I think obviously that's not where I'm having issues.
After the first procedure, I was happy with it to some extent, but it was always in my mind that I wanted to do a second one and complete it. I'm a high achiever. I've got the money and I can finish the journey. And he just forked up $98,000 for the second surgery. He hopes that'll add 2 more inches. It has to be so painful.
Yeah.
Are those inches going to matter? During the excruciating surgery, doctors broke Gibson's tibia and fibula bones and screwed magnetic limb lengthening nails into them. He now uses a height lengthening device 3 times a day in order to pull the cut bone apart a millimeter at a time. That encourages his body to create new bone tissue, which will fill the gap to create a new height.
Oh, so he's got to do like post-op stretching that actually stretches his bones. Wow. You know what? Gattaca. Am I right? Is that the word? Yes?
Yes, but even better than that is pussy. So I understand what he's doing, you know. They give you a powerful pain medication, as there are times when it's really painful and you have to work through it. You go home and you have a week or 2 for some healing to happen before you get the device to start lengthening. If he uses the height, I like that he's the one to blame, not the doctors. If he uses the height lengthening device correctly, doctors say he will eventually be 5'10".
This is amazing. And don't forget that people have been breaking their nose on purpose and putting it back smaller. Like, we have no problem with that. We're like, oh, nose job anyway. Right. This is not that far off, except it's a lot of work afterwards. But I don't know. It's same.
I'll be happy at 5'10", he declared. Doubt it. But if my body and everything else allows me to go 3 inches to get to 5'11", then even better. He's making shit up now. The doctor said maybe 5'10". Yeah, but maybe 5'11", sure, maybe.
That's what'll make him happy.
Right. After the first surgery, I became less hesitant and less worried about the results when talking to women. I now have a girlfriend. I also started wearing shorts and taking full body pictures, which I never used to.
Wow. In my mind, you can't even tell, which is this not blowing people's minds? Not the fact that he wants that. I mean, everybody understands what kind of weird fucking society that when you do have these things, you know your life is going to change. You know people look at you different. I fully get it. But we could do this. We're just reading this like it's regular already. We could do this. This dude is like in the middle of it and going like, this is working out. I'm cool with this. And everyone's like, oh, you have mental. No, this is amazing. He's being experimented on. This is going to work out amazing for someone else.
In my mind, when I'm done with this part, I can just be free. I just won't care about my height anymore, and I'll be satisfied with what I have.
And he could do everything else. He could just walk like a... I mean, imagine you had walking on stilts as an adult. You have to reorganize the way you move.
I'd advise anybody who wants this to go for it. It's definitely worth it. You're not done.
That's so impressive.
I'm definitely wanting to spread the word, and if it can help other people go through it, then so be it. I'm glad.
And he has 2 jobs. He somehow made an extra $175,000.
Yes.
Jesus.
Yes, but one of his jobs is a software engineer.
Okay.
And then he has a whole nother job that's an Uber driver. So he's 2 full human being jobs.
I wonder if he lets you know as the driver. He's like, I got to put my seat back. I'm so tall now. I'm like, okay, then put it back. Yeah. What do I care? Oh, well. Big news. Joe Biden is running for re-election. Apparently, we all had to play dumb and act like we have no idea, but he's saying, actually, I am going to go for it. And I don't know who determines why and how long you wait to say, but it is a fact. This 80-year-old is going to go and run again.
Why?
So old.
I think it's name recognition. And like when Biden jumped in last time, I'm like, well, he won, done. We know who he is. He used to be the vice president. Nobody else had a chance. I don't know what popular name is out there like Biden's. I agree with your, I do agree with that, but
you could be a president at age 35. He is more than a decade double that. Okay. So, like, I don't know. If you can't date a 35-year-old, please step down. I can't.
Right.
It's too much. Someone else wants a job. Go play golf.
I would like you to be alive after to deal with the policies that you made.
Right.
It is silly that we vote in so old.
There should be a limit on the other end as well.
Yes, there should. Yes, there should be. You know, I cut something out. It was Dick Van Dyke got into a car accident, and then I read like he's 97 years old.
Oh, wow. Wow.
Dick Van Dyke was hurt after crashing his car into a gate last week. 97 years old. He had a Lexus in Malibu. Wet weather conditions caused his car to skid before smashing into the gate, supposedly. He was left with a bloody nose and mouth. He turned down an offer to go to the hospital and was instead picked up by a friend who took him home. Officers said drugs and alcohol were not involved, but authorities have submitted documents to the DMV requesting that Van Dyke retake his driver's test. He was previously rescued from a burning Jaguar on an LA freeway in 2013. That's enough. That's enough. You do have to have an age limit on things.
That's why he turned down the offer to be taken to the hospital, because he knows that they're going to be like, this dude needs to stop doing this. Who turns down the offer?
Right.
At 97 to have the ego to be like, no, I'm still young. I still have some years left. Just die.
I'm going to walk this off.
Please.
Right.
What about Kamala? Why not her run? Is it too much? It's too much.
It's a lot too much. You got a woman, you got a black woman, and we know Biden. It's a lot.
We're hoping he dies. I thought he would die this term, honestly.
She goes, how right? She goes, how about I run? And Biden goes, a little too much. A little too much. You gotta do what's more important. Also running for president, Joe Exotic, the Tiger King. Why not? Hey, if Trump can be indicted and still run, you can't vote for yourself in prison, but you can run. Tiger King, Joe Exotic, unable to find a president willing to release him from prison, says he's running for the job himself. He's going to run as a libertarian in 2024. And he wants former Representative Liz Cheney to be his running mate.
This is so fun because, we took this so seriously that Trump became president. Joe Biden is halfway in the grave. He's president. But yeah, let's do something fun from jail. Maybe I'll write a book after this. What the fuck?
Joe Exotic, of course, convicted of hiring a hitman to kill animal rights activist Carol Baskin, has big ideas for U.S. policy, including the idea of assassinating Russian President Vladimir Putin to end the war in Ukraine. Hey, it's nasty business being in charge. You don't want to see how the sausage is made. He's going to assassinate the president of Russia, and that's how we end this Ukraine war. By the way, you're in prison for putting a hit out on somebody. Don't bring any of this up.
Did somebody right before that say there are no wrong answers? And he's like, all right, here we go.
He'd like Cheney to be his vice president because, quote, the woman has guts. And he says, obviously she's a Republican and I'm a libertarian, so we'd have to discuss some items. Yeah, this is my dad. I'm going to run. I'm going to have Pete Buttigieg as my vice president, but we're going to have to work something out and discuss his homosexuality. And then when it doesn't work out, it's because Pete Buttigieg didn't keep all his promises. Obviously, she's a Republican. I'm a libertarian. Cheney, the former vice chair of the House panel that probed the January 6th Capitol riot, lost her re-election due to criticism of Trump. Exotic's campaign website boasts endorsements from various Instagram personalities. You got my endorsement because I don't think you'll make it, but it'd be fun to watch you for sure. You being brought out in like cuffs and an orange jumpsuit, and then he rambles on, and then they have to take him away. That'd be awesome. If you look my endorsements combined with their supporters, I already have over 50 million people. I think kind of like my dad again. I think he checked how many people got into Tiger King during the pandemic. We all did, and he's like, the whole world's on my side. #1 show. My dad would rate religious books and do the math on how much money he's going to make. He's like, all right, I sell them for $29.99. There's 2 billion Catholics in the world. Let's say I only sell to 10% of them.
Good math.
He's got some ideas. An elderly Russian woman has been fined 40,000 rubles in Russia. That's about $490 for discrediting her country's army by saying the Ukrainian president, Zelelnsky, is a handsome young man.
She got fined for that.
You can't say that.
You can't be slutty all the time.
Right. Olga Slagina, 70, was turned in by 3 other civilians.
Wait, she's 70?
Haters.
70.
She's 70, and he said she goes, what a handsome face.
A handsome young man. A handsome young man. You can't say that in Russia because it lowers the morale of the military.
Wow.
Yeah.
Can you say, I'm going to turn this car around, or like none of the things? Or
According to Russian human rights group Memorial Center, the senior citizen was speaking with another woman at a medical center when she made the remark about the 45-year-old, quote, oh, here's another one, quote, smoking hot. President.
Well.
Oh, whoa.
Now
I put my life on the line here, bitch.
Yeah, that's too far.
You know, you give a thumb.
It gets worse. In addition to complimenting his looks, she said he's a comedian and he has a good sense of humor.
Oh my God. Nipples and all.
3 people subsequently reported the elderly woman to local authorities. I think you get like jeans and a piece of bread or something. She was soon arrested. She's being arrested right now. She was soon arrested for breaking censorship law implemented by the Russian government amid its ongoing war with Ukraine. The officer who arrested her said she has no right to praise Zelensky because he is our enemy.
Wow.
Oh my goodness.
You got to keep order. So, wow, I feel safer, and I'm not even close to living there. But yeah.
Oh my Lord. Oh my
This
Lord.
is like somebody telling you that your ex's new girlfriend is hotter than you. That's what's happening. Like, no, she's really pretty. She's actually really cool and smart too. And you're like, I thought you were my friend, bitch.
I knew people that did go to war, and what they normally do, get people hyped up. They play the music, let the bodies hit the floor. I'm not exaggerating, but also you might not know this. They show pictures of the president of the enemy, and they talk about how ugly they are, and it gets people ramped up. It's like, that is an ugly son of a bitch. We're gonna win.
Oh, that's how we start children's parties too. Who's ready? Me. I can't hear you. Me.
And sad news I have to report. Motley Crüe is fighting with each other.
Well, they're a Motley Crüe.
And their guitarist.
Are they a crew?
What's that?
Are they a crew if they spelled crew like that?
It was already too late. They're like, well, we got the tattoos. Mick Mars is suing the band, the guitarist. He's much older than the rest of the band. He has a bone disease that makes him move slow and stuff. And the rest of the band is saying, quite frankly, we're propping you up. Behind the scenes, we were going to move on without you. You want to do a lawsuit? Now we're going to tell you haven't even been playing on stage. Mick Mars is saying the other members are the ones who haven't been playing on stage.
Oh.
Hate to see it.
Yikes.
They say that he's suing, saying the band's trying to force him out after 41 years.
Oh, my goodness.
The group's attorney. First of all, Motley Crüe is the band that some years ago said they signed in blood a contract saying they'll never perform again. And then people go, is this a fake, the final tour? You can play again if you want. And they go, how can we play again? We signed a contract. Are you going to sue yourself? Well, surprise, surprise. They played again.
What's their main song? I always get this mixed up with another band.
There's I'm Jewish from Dr. Feelgood. Let me tell Carmen this story. I'm vacuuming in my house. I'm a kid. I'm hearing Motley Crüe. I'm singing along. When I get high on speed. Top fuel, funny car's a drug for me. It's about Motley Crüe supposedly being sober. Kickstart my heart. He unplugs the vacuum cleaner from the wall and goes, I heard what you were singing. And I go, no, you probably heard I get high on speed, but they really are doing a play on words and they're talking about race cars. And he goes, no, that's not what you said. You said, I'm Jewish. Like, what the fuck? He's also the one that I took one of those DNA tests to see where we're from, because he doesn't tell us anything. And 1% Middle Eastern Jewish. And
Ashkenazi Jewish, no?
I just know, I think it's a Middle Eastern Jewish or just Jewish, but and then everything else was Middle Eastern. And Middle Eastern or like what's Czechoslovakia and all that? European. Middle European, of course.
I got Czech in me too.
Look at you. Hello.
Wow, you're both white? That's so, like, you're blowing my mind. I'm so glad you took tests.
And one of the siblings said to my dad, he took one of those tests and he's 1% Jewish. And my dad goes, we are 0% Jewish. I'm like, what the fuck? Okay. There's no way that anybody in our lineage had sex with a Jewish person. And they really don't think Jesus is a Jew the way they...
We're all Jewish.
Yeah. Jesus was Jewish. Did you know that? Oh, yeah. Well, not like that. Just, if we don't think about it too much, he was Jewish. Let's see here. The group's attorneys contend that Mars was already out of the band, having resigned effectively, in their view, when he announced that he was halting touring for good. Nikki Sixx, who rates all the brilliant songs, he said, sad day for us, and we don't deserve this considering how many years we've been propping him up.
Oh.
We still wish him the best. Not the best to sue us. We hope we do the best in that regard. But in words that don't matter, we wish him the best. We wish him the best and hope he finds lawyers and managers who aren't damaging him. We love you, Mick. That was a tweet.
Oh, man, that's nice.
Motley Crüe's attorneys also provided Variety with signed declarations from 7 members of the touring crew that was out with the band when they toured with Mars for the last time, stadium dates in 2022, alleging that his performances at the show were under par and created problems for the entire group. After the last tour, Mick publicly resigned from Motley Crüe, despite the fact, the band's attorney says, despite the fact that the band did not owe Mick anything, and with Mick owing the band millions in advances that he did not pay back, the band offered Mick a generous compensation package to honor his career. Mick refused and chose an ugly public lawsuit instead. Let's see here. 71 years old. Mars
this is just so sad. Yeah. 71 years old and you're suing what used to be your best friends, which I get, like, that's a long time to remain at peace with a group of people named Motley Crüe. But it's very interesting to call yourself Motley Crüe. And then after 40 years of touring, you're like, I'm going to sue you. And it's like, we wish you all the peace. And
right.
We'll offer you
when you shout at the devil. Mars' suit included the allegation that he was the only member of the quartet that actually played live during the shows.
Are you insulting all of the people who bought tickets now because you guys are fighting? Because we don't want to know this. We had a good time. He said
Nikki Sixx didn't play a note live. Vince Neil and Tommy Lee were Can you get your money back? Right. Vince Neil and Tommy Lee were sometimes seen or heard by audience members away from mics or instruments when their parts were going on.
Oh.
And then the band goes, no, it was him. That was had to go with our backing tracks. Equally unfortunate.
It sounds like you all needed to stop touring way before you stopped touring.
Mm-hmm.
When Mick Mars was off, the band's entire performance suffered. Somebody on the tour said Mick's performance during the stadium tour was unworkable and very difficult to manage. Mick would consistently forget chords and songs, so the band would have to stop and reteach those parts to Mick to remind him of the arrangements. He would consistently miss notes, play out of tune, play the wrong chords during a song, stay within a chorus of a song and never come out of it. Again, he's the guitarist. Forget the song that he was playing and start a different one.
Oh my God. So then maybe suing is just another part of what the fuck is happening with the decline of his brain.
Right.
It doesn't sound like he's doing okay. Who changes a song in the middle? They're not doing drugs, right?
Mars further told Variety, supposedly, right? Mars further told Variety in a yet-to-be-published interview that if he were asked to play from the band songs on the spot without preparation, he can play them all perfectly from memory, whereas the members could not. I guess it would have been rude if Variety said, yeah, go ahead. Right?
No, but
Too fast, too young for love, too fast for love. Go.
But you might want to be in the courthouse because the judge might be like, all right, time to play music and we'll decide who's off.
They recorded, obviously, all those concerts, right? The proof should be right there, whoever's right. Nikki Sixx has indicated in interviews that he does not foresee Motley Crüe releasing new albums going forward.
No, why not? Because you just told us that you can't. You just told us that most of your members are not okay. No matter who's right, we don't want to hear what you have anymore because you don't have it. And it's fine. It's been a long, very devil-filled life, and good on you. You're ready for wherever you go. Good night.
You dance with the devil.
Limits. Age limits.
More age limits.
Too.
That's right.
Residency and bands.
That's right. Chemda, I want to hear about your trip to the circus.
Oh, I took my nephews to the circus, the One Ring Circus, which I really love the concept of One Ring Circus because there's enough going on and you get to be closer to the action. So I am so excited to be that kind of aunt, like, let's buy you the lights. I don't care how much they cost, by the way. Oh my God, they cost $18 each.
Lights?
18, the lights, the light up toy thing that they get to hold in the middle of the circle. Yeah. Everything is $18. I think popcorn was 12. Like, it was crazy. But I had already decided we're going to the circus. I'm getting tickets for everybody, and whatever toy they look at. Yes, of course you can get it because, when I went to the circus, I saw people getting their clown makeup done by clowns, professionally done. And I was like, oh. And my mom's like, no, I'll buy this. Why is my mom European now? And so my mom bought, and this is so sweet. She bought some face paints because it was cheaper. And then,
but they always think it's better. And then her paint has like vegetable chunks in it. It's like, can I just get the shit stuff?
Yeah. So I know that, my brother won't spend that kind of money. And I think that's fine, but I want to be that aunt, right?
Sure.
So we come in and they get the thing that lights up and spins and all that shit, right? So they're holding it. And this is so funny. In the circus, they do these like feats of strength, right? So they're like, I'm standing on a swing way up top and I'm doing a handstand on it. And kids are like, yeah, that's what cartoons do. We think those are people. And you look around and every kid who has lights is not looking at the stage. They're looking at their light up toy. And I'm like, all right, well, that's whatever their experience is, right? Then there's intermission. And they come up on the thing, okay, 20 minutes and you can take a picture with this person and everything costs money and you could take a picture with this and you can have this experience. And then they go like this, who has light up toys? Let's see your light up toys. And they'd make it dark and it's the light up toys and every kid with a light up toy is like, yeah, I'm the coolest person. And I'm like, oh, phew, they have a light up toy. This would be weird. Yeah. And I think they should be sued for this. Then they go, who doesn't?
Oh,
raise your hand.
They're not going to give you one.
We're going to come and give you one. But it wasn't free. It was start begging now. And then they were like, okay, intermission. Here's some lights. See you later. Yeah.
What do you mean with the start begging? They charged them, right?
Yeah. They're like, we're coming around with lights to you. And kids are like, well, they said they're coming.
Right.
And now the parents have to re-explain, this is not worth it. Like, there's $1 at the fucking dollar store. Like, yeah. Is that a nightmare? What kind of shit is that?
It is a nightmare because it is a nightmare. It is.
You're rude and you're wrong. You're rude and you're wrong. It's already, look, you cannot enter the tent unless you pass through the guy selling the lights and the cotton candy. And then during intermission, it comes by you. When you're waiting for the show, there's somebody walking around with lights, with cotton candy. There's always somebody selling to your kid. But you just made the kids without the lights raise their hand.
Yeah. Adults.
This is how the Holocaust started.
Adults by themselves. I don't know if your anxiety, Carmen, deals with this, but adults themselves don't know how to say no. Sometimes they feel uncomfortable. Right. We went overseas with Kyle. I was on a different flight, but I met her and somebody's trying to sell her excursions, but we already have a plan. We know absolutely no, but and when I get there, they're already talking. I go, oh, actually, no, thank you. I'll be the asshole. And then she's like, well, let him continue. And I'm like, what? Let me be the bad guy. and so, and I'm like, I'm the one doing him the favor.
Yeah.
No, we're not going to do this. But yeah, to get kids involved and all that is evil.
Yeah. So this circus, listen, it's Long Island. It's in the parking lot. This is not the Big Apple Circus. Apparently there's a difference. Here's another difference, right? So they always have a ringmaster, and it's the person who, talks to the kids while they get the next thing set up. And they always have a person who's a clown with like a big, and they're not clowns anymore. They're just bigger personalities. Like last time at the Big Apple Circus, the guy had a huge fake mohawk. Like he almost looked like a cartoon character. Mm-hmm. And so there's the ringmaster, and he's like, and did you know that? And he's serious. And then you have the silly person going like, I'm disruptive, blah, blah, blah. But these people weren't doing it very big and clowny. So all of their wackety seemed very serious. They were saying things like, the ringmaster is in the middle of things and he goes, oh, hi, but not that big. And he goes, oh, you're being disruptive. Do you have a ticket? And he goes, oh, no, I don't have a ticket. All right, I'm going to kick you out. I'm going to put my hand here, and throw you out the door. And the kids are like, oh my God, do we have tickets? Because we're gonna, like,
now raise your hand if you don't have a ticket.
Right. Because in the last one, their personalities were so big. They're like, I don't have a ticket. What do I do? And the kids are like, oh no, everything has to be gigantic. And so now there's just like this level of stress throughout until they do something a little, like there is something that breaks it, and the kids finally realize that it's funny, but only the older kids. So the younger kids doing these sketches are now just looking at their lights again. And it turns out the lights are a lot more interesting than somebody standing on another person's head.
Mm-hmm. So just bring the lights over next time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you need the lights.
How do you impress people with the circus? They have the circus on their phone every second of every day. They see children doing flips.
You know what? What was the most impressive? The Showtime section. The flippers, the regular guys, but doing flips over each other. And then they even had the audience come into the center and stand there, and then they flip over the audience. That was one of their favorites. And then when they almost fell, there's a last trick where people are flipping over a thing that's moving, and it really did look like they almost fell. And one of the nephews said like his favorite part is when people pretended to fall or to almost fall. And we were like, Michael Xerxes and I were like, holy shit, I think they just almost fell. Wow.
Yeah, you're right about the phone, though. What are you going to show me? Where are you going to show me at a zoo? I on the internet, I see a puppy marrying a duck. What do I care about a drugged up giraffe? No. Here's what you want to do in relation to Carmen. You want to follow her online, Carmen Lagala. Okay, that's what you want to do. Also, check out the Colbert set. Okay. Anything else people should know? Oh, this festival. What are we doing again?
Yes, I can't look at the dates because it's underneath my phone and I can't see in there, but I think it's May 24, 25, and 26, somewhere in there.
All right.
In Vail, Colorado for the Vail Comedy Festival.
Yeah, keep your plans loose, everybody, but... What's the name of it? I'll tell you the dates.
Vail Comedy Festival.
Vail.
VAIL.
Now, do you have a calendar? How do you keep your appointments?
I keep it on my phone. I'm very good at keeping track of things like that.
Oh, cool. Like,
yeah.
All right. May 26th to the 28th.
Oh, see, I was close.
Carmen, always a pleasure. Thanks again for opening up my show the other day. You're fantastic. You always are. So fun to see.
I was very flattered. It's very fun.
I have to hear it again. My head was spinning a little bit, but I liked what registered. I'll tell you that. That's it, everybody. Click the buttons in front of you. You know those like buttons. You know it matters. It makes a difference. Thanks a lot for telling your friends. We can tell you're doing that. And we'll talk to you tomorrow.
And isn't it cool that today we had Hillary Swank on?